Do you know that the luckiest people in the world are not the ones who have everything, but the ones who truly appreciate everything they already have? Today, we're going to understand the power of gratitude from Ma Krakalow's book, A Power That Can Change Your Life. Welcome to Anti-Societal. Look, we live in a world where we constantly feel like happiness is in the next thing. A new phone, a better job, a big achievement. We think if we just get that one thing, everything will finally be okay. But this tells us a very deep truth. The solution to our restlessness isn't in external things, but in a small internal shift. It's not about buying something new. It's about seeing what we already have with a new sense of appreciation. It's about stepping out of the endless race for more and learning to breathe in the peace of gratitude. So in today's discussion, we'll talk about 5 key ideas. First, we'll understand the gratitude paradox, why having more doesn't always mean more happiness. Then we'll dive into the science, how gratitude trains your brain for happiness. After that, we'll learn practical ways to turn gratitude into a real habit. In the fourth part, we'll see how gratitude works even in the toughest situations. And finally, we'll connect this habit to long-term goals. So let's jump straight into the first section. This is a truth about human happiness that challenges many of our old beliefs. We all think that if our circumstances suddenly improve, we'll be happy forever. But is that really true? In a well-known study, 2 completely different groups were compared. On one side were people who won the lottery and became millionaires overnight, people who suddenly had everything they had ever dreamed of. On the other side were people who became paralyzed after an accident, people who had lost so much. You and I would assume their happiness levels would be completely different. But something surprising was discovered. After 1 year, when both groups were asked about their happiness levels, they reported almost the same level of happiness. How is that possible? This research shows that our happiness depends very little on external circumstances and much more on our internal state. And that's the root of the paradox. The feeling of abundance doesn't come from having a lot of things. It comes from a mindset. Feeling rich or poor has very little to do with what's in your bank account and much more to do with what's going on in your mind. 2 people can live in the same house, earn the same salary, yet one feels like the luckiest person alive, while the other feels unlucky. The difference isn't in their circumstances. The difference is in their perspective. Gratitude is that small spark that lights the fire of happiness inside us. It's not something we get from the outside. It's an inner flame we choose to ignite. And this isn't just poetic language. There's real science behind it, which brings us to the next section. Let's take a look behind the scenes and understand how this actually works. Gratitude isn't just a good feeling or a positive thought. It's a powerful biological process that can physically change your brain. This isn't imagination. This is neuroscience. Think of your brain like a garden. The paths you walk most often become stronger and clearer over time. In science, this is called neuroplasticity. Simply put, your brain isn't fixed. It can change based on your thoughts and habits. When you consistently practice gratitude, you stop reinforcing negative thinking patterns and start building a superhighway of positive, grateful thinking. Over time, it becomes easier and more natural for your brain to follow this positive path. So what actually happens in your brain when you feel gratitude? Your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. Think of them as your brain's reward system. Whenever you appreciate something, your brain gives you a small boost of happiness and calm. And this trains your brain to seek more of these positive feelings, creating a powerful positive cycle. This change isn't just chemical, it also affects brain structure. Gratitude calms the brain's alarm center, the amygdala, reducing fear and anxiety. At the same time, it strengthens the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and emotional control, the prefrontal cortex. It also lowers cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. In simple terms, gratitude works like a master switch. It turns down stress and turns up happiness and emotional control. Now that we understand the why, let's move to the how. Knowing gratitude is a superpower is one thing, but making it part of your daily life is another. Here's a practical toolkit to build this habit. First, focus on one thing at a time. Don't try to change everything. Just start with gratitude. Second, give it time. Commit at least 30 days so the habit can stick. Third, attach it to something you already do, like practicing gratitude right after your morning tea or before going to bed. Fourth, track your progress. Even marking a simple calendar can keep you motivated. Fifth, plan for setbacks. If you miss a day, don't quit, just start again the next day. Sixth, bring it into your day. Stuck in traffic? Take a deep breath and feel grateful for your car. Seventh, celebrate consistency. Reward yourself after completing a week. This habit is built on a simple but powerful sentence. I am grateful for blank because blank. Research shows the second part, because, is where the real power is. It forces you to go deeper instead of just listing things. For example, I am grateful for my home is good, but I am grateful for my home because it gives safety and comfort to me and my family, creates a much stronger emotional impact. Journaling is just the beginning. You can write a letter to someone who changed your life and tell them how much they mean to you. You can tell a friend what you truly appreciate about them. The possibilities are endless. The goal is to make it feel real and meaningful. Now, when life is going well, gratitude is easy, but its real power shows up during hard times. That's when gratitude becomes an anchor that keeps you from drowning. After the tragic 9/11 attacks, researchers found that the second most common emotion, after compassion, was gratitude. People felt grateful for their loved ones' safety, their own lives, and the support around them. Even in the worst moments, gratitude reminds us of what truly matters. A powerful example is Corrie ten Boom, a Dutch woman imprisoned in a Nazi death camp during World War II. Their barracks were full of fleas that constantly bit them and made their life unbearable. In that suffering, her sister Betsy insisted they thank God, even for the fleas. Corrie thought it was crazy, but later they discovered something incredible. The guards avoided their barracks because of the fleas. This allowed them to secretly gather, pray, and support each other, saving lives. This story teaches us that gratitude means finding light in the darkest places. Brené Brown says that when we're not grateful, we start taking our blessings for granted. Gratitude teaches humility. It reminds us that what we have is a gift, not a guarantee. It protects us from entitlement. Finally, let's connect this to the bigger picture. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good today. It's a tool to shape your future. It builds the foundation for achieving long-term goals, like your vision for 2026. Melody Beattie says, gratitude helps us understand the past, brings peace to the present, and creates a clear vision for the future. It transforms regret, anxiety, and fear into positive energy. So how does it work in real life? First, it builds resilience. You bounce back from failure faster. Second, it boosts confidence. You focus on strengths instead of weaknesses. Third, it improves mental health. It reduces jealousy, frustration, and burnout. Fourth, it strengthens relationships, giving you a strong support system. And most importantly, a grateful mindset isn't passive, it's active discipline. It's the mental strength needed for long-term success. It's a choice you make every single day, especially on the hard days. It's the fuel that keeps you moving when the goal feels far away. So to wrap this up, here's one question. What's one small, simple thing you can genuinely feel grateful for right now? Maybe it's the cup of tea in your hand, the sunlight coming through your window, or just the ability to take your next breath. What's that one small thing that could change the direction of your entire day? If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family, because knowledge grows when it's shared. Thank you for watching.